This video is all about investing in property for beginners. Which of these three property types should you consider as your first investment property? Hi, my name is Tony Law from Your First Four Houses, and I teach people how to build a small property portfolio that generates a great income for them so they can give up the day job if they wish, because they're now financially free. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on any of the free content that I give you each and every week. So there are loads of property strategies out there, aren't there? Let's be really honest. But I want to just suggest three different types of property strategies to consider if you're a complete beginner. And I should add, these are just my personal views, and you must do your own due diligence before taking any action on anything here. So my first suggestion is to simply buy a rundown single let that needs a major refurbishment. Honestly, I think these make a great first investment property. Now the truth is, you'll learn so much if you kind of get in there and get your hands dirty. Not literally speaking, although you should actually get in there and start to do some of the work if it's your very first property, in my opinion. But just figuratively speaking, getting in there, doing the dirty work, you'll learn so much by doing that. But you need to focus on deals where you can, in my opinion, put your money into the deal, but then get it back out again within a relatively short space of time so that you can use that money to go and fund that next deal. So here, for example, I'm talking about buying properties potentially below market value, substantially so, or buying a property where you can add significant value, or ideally both, so that you can then refinance and pull that money out again. To find these, can I suggest that you go on to Rightmove, search for what it is that you're looking for, but then sort in terms of oldest listed first of all. Find the properties that work for you and then start negotiating hard. These sellers could be very motivated, and it is absolutely a numbers game. For lots more information on this type of strategy, why don't you check out my free property mini course by clicking here. There's loads of information on this type of strategy. Secondly, why not buy a 1-bed flat and turn it into a 2-bed flat? So how would you do that, and why would you want to? Well, what you would do is you would potentially take the kitchen and you'd actually make the kitchen bedroom number 2, and you'd actually move the kitchen into the loungy type of area. Now obviously some properties, some flats, that's never going to work, but some flats have huge lounge spaces whereby if you incorporate the kitchen into that space, it still works beautifully, but you've just gone and gained a bedroom. As to why you'd want to do it, well, you're going to add big value potentially by doing this type of work so that you can get in there and pull that money back out of the deal again quickly. The key here is to get really good at reading and understanding floor plans. So go on to Rightmove or Zoopla and search for 1-bed flats with a large lounge. Also, once it's done, could you maybe convert this place into a serviced accommodation? By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, I would love it if you could take a moment just to click on that like button down there. It really helps me if that's okay. Thirdly, I suggest you take a close look at a rent-to-rent based strategy. HMOs are without doubt a more advanced strategy. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. And there's certainly lots to learn if this is for you. But rent-to-rents can be a fantastic way of kind of sticking your toe in the water. You don't need much capital to get started, and just a few rent-to-rents can quickly replace the average income. But I would specifically recommend this strategy because you'll learn so much about HMOs in general, assuming that you might ultimately want to go on and actually buy some HMOs. For example, you'll learn all about the legislation that you need to comply with, how to fill your rooms, even in an area where there's maybe a little bit of an oversaturation of rooms, the systems that you need to put in place, whether you actually even enjoy this type of investment. But above all, you'll demonstrate competency. When you're sitting down with a potential investor who's got £100,000 to invest and he's thinking about investing with you, you can just sort of demonstrate your competency by sort of sliding across the desk that PDF showing your latest investment. However, with rent-to-rent, can I strongly suggest you do get some kind of training, because there is a lot to know about this particular strategy. You don't need to necessarily do any of my training, but honestly, I do think you need to do some. Just before you go, can I encourage you to check out this video here, because in here I share 12 huge tips that I wish somebody had told me before I bought my first investment property. I put together a 50-point checklist that will run you through all the steps you need to take before buying that first investment property. Simply click the link here or in the description box below to download your own copy today.